God says today, this is the point in your life where my sovereignty and providence are colliding over you. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, without consulting anyone. I am the Lord your God, there is no one other. I aim to lead you from visitation to dwelling of my spirit for you to know the fullness of my person who fills you all in all. I call you my beloved, and as such, you are the focus of my mission, my passion, and my undivided attention. This is the point in your life where my sovereignty and providence collide over you, God says today. I have the freedom to do anything I want, whenever I want, without consulting anyone. There is no one else but me, the Lord your God. My goal is to guide you from visitation to dwelling of my spirit so that you might know the fullness of my person who fills you all in all. As my beloved, you are the focus of my goal, my passion, and my undivided attention. This is a day to eat meat, drink sweets, and rejoice in your salvation. The enemy would wear you down with continual threats and even male superstitions, but are you genuinely bothered about the losing team's playbook? The Father declares that you are a victor in Christ. I cover you with my pinions and carry you in my wings. Today, I'm rising under you and elevating you to greater heights and glory. There is a time to stand guard on the wall, but there is also a time to cuddle up with me and slumber in the bow of the boat during a storm. The Father tells you that you are more than just a survivor. I have summoned you and predestined you to thrive and excel in the presence of your adversaries. I'll fatten your bones with the bounty of the table placed in front of your greatest peril. I'm not afraid of the Dark One's threats, and I don't want you to be either. I have not given you an intimidating spirit, but rather one of love, power, and a sound mind that thinks like I do when you are under strain. So rejoice, says the Father, and celebrate my day-to-day care for you. You are safe in my eternal arms, and you will see God's salvation in the land of the living, since this is your blessing time, and no man or Satan can derail it. The enemy is intimidated by your quietness and confidence, beloved. Those who bluster and yell with strident determination reveal their fear. You are not among the timid, you belong to the warrior class. The adversary wishes to stifle your laughter and force you to engage him on his terms. The enemy is all deception, and misdirection. Don't fall for his falsehoods and folly. You are the principality and power in the noble struggle of faith. Satan is simply the usurper whom Adam permitted to assume unlawful control through disobedience. Don't put up with it, dear. Just as I placed Adam and Eve in the garden, I have placed you in your own life. You are a tender as well as a keeper. The angels with blazing swords are ready to drive out the enemy's usurpations and enforce your heart's faith-filled expectations and your mouth's statements. So settle in and unwind. Settle into your authority and rid yourself of any stress and anxiety, since that is not your lot. Your part is peace, calm, and assurance. This is what causes the adversary of your soul to have a nervous breakdown, because he is aware of his inadequacy to disrupt the destiny of one who is at peace in me. When you focus your affection on the Father, his autonomous response is to deliver you and set you on high. Does this word strike a chord with you? Then, by sharing it with others, you can activate the working of this word on your behalf, since faith works via love. Then, by sowing into the term of your giving, combine this word with some trust. Giving in to a word establishes the precedent for what follows and provides God's blessing in that specific area. I'm promoting you from soldier to warrior. Warriors exist solely to fight. Warriors will not accept defeat. Warriors never give up and never give in. This day, the warrior spirit of Jehovah Lord of Sabaoth dwells within you. I am the Lord of hosts and the God of battles. I summon you at this hour, not as a draftee, but as a volunteer to the conflict of the ages. A soldier will often avoid battle if feasible. I am summoning you to a warrior ascension into the field of battle with one goal in mind, the destruction of the adversary. I have equipped and trained you. I've chosen you to be a member of my elite special troops. You are both skilled and astute. You enter the conflict with audacity and bravado. Look out into the fray and face the opponent's challenge. You will not only see the adversary, but you will also see me as John the Revelator saw me, with eyes of fire, feet of bronze, and a sword protruding from my lips. Allow my spirit sword to cleave to your hand today, says the Father, until I make your foes a footnote to your victory and place your foot in the neck of every challenge from the evil one. Your prayers are the ink on which angel requests are written. Your prayers are heaven's directors, and the arbiters of responses come to earth. Allow your mouth to pray. Father, let your words be abundant, passionate, and sincere. I'm listening, my ear is always bowed down to hear, acknowledge, and answer your heart's call. I am not paying attention to any minor aspect of your life. I have not overlooked a single nuance of need, desire, or emotion. I'm working, I'm moving, and I'm never late. This is your time of expansion, your time of declaration and decree, to declare your expectation of my faithfulness, fullness, and favor. You are the lucky recipient. My favor has been slung on your shoulders today. You are favored, and you will witness my fullness, my faithfulness, and the answers you have been seeking. It is both who I am and what I do. You will not be let down. You will not be humiliated or denied in any manner, since I am present to bring my deliverance to your land. I have given birth to you as a unique feature of my dominion. Do not be surprised or concerned by the looks and frowns of those who know little or nothing about my magnificence. They may glare at you, but in desperation, they will seize your hand and hug your sleeves, pleading that the idiosyncrasies displayed in your life be theirs as well. I am a peculiar and special God, and I have raised you to be an unusual and particular person by my hand. The Father says, I choose the weak. I select the foundation. I select the stupid, the rejected, and the loathed. The Father says, I choose you. Be free today from man's demands and the deception of human pride, image, and dignity. Know that you are accepted, approved, and have the permission of heaven to get out of your current situation. I give you permission to enter my courts and locate a spot to live where others would never be able to. You are my darling and the object of my attention. This day, I am surrounding you in my goodness and making myself known as the Creator and your ever-present supply from my lofty and holy hill. I have given birth to you as a unique feature of my dominion. Do not be surprised or concerned by the looks and frowns of those who know little or nothing about my magnificence. They may glare at you, but in desperation, they will seize your hand and hug your sleeves, pleading that the idiosyncrasies displayed in your life be theirs as well. I am a peculiar and special God, and I have raised you to be an unusual and particular person by my hand. Enter into the fullness of my presence in your life. Praise be to the Father. Praise till the praise Spirit comes. Worship till the glory arrives, then stand in it. Oh, my lover, I haven't modified my mind or limited my plans. I am ready to measure my bounty in your life by the abundance of your praise, the depth of your worship, and your desire for glory. You will witness what others have wished to witness. You will recognize the lofty areas of my presence as your permanent residence, not simply a passing through. Do not be satisfied with visitational glory, says the Father, because habitational glory is now available to you. Shake your body. Control your emotions as well as your mind. Allow yourself to be compelled to magnify, praise, and worship, and you will see what I will do with an unfettered and abandoned heart before me. You're the one, and I've picked you. The Father says, I choose you. I make you the pupil of my eye, and I will draw you into my protection, provision, and purpose as you've never been before. It's a new day, and the new path has led you here. Make a holy sound. Death silences the sound of praise. How will the dead praise me? You are a living person, not a dead person. Today, make a lot of noise in your praise, says the Father. Praise in an inappropriate manner. Allow your appreciation to be so fervent that it offends every religious spirit in the room. Tightly gripped hands, closed lips, and shuttered hearts have no dignity. Open your heart, tongue, and hands, and praise with zeal. Clap your hands together, smite your hands together over your enemy, since your enemy is defeated even before he draws his weapon. Rejoice and know that my song is a song that sings in your song. My melody thunders and rumbles through the land, smashing the iron bars and brass gates that have kept my people from joy. The river of delight is flowing towards you. It is rising from inside, washing away the ashes of sadness and the grave cloths, the sackcloth of sorrow. Be restored in your joy, says the Father, since today is a fresh day, a day of blessing, rebirth, and restoration, even in the sinews and tissues of your youth, mind, and spirit. I shall be recognized, seen, and manifested in your land if you let forth a shout and a flood of your mouth. I made you in my likeness. Your ultimate goal is to portray my image, wholeness, authority, and character to a dysfunctional world plagued by sin and deprived of its divine purpose. You are not meant to live a weak, irritable, anemic religious existence. My order, my kingdom, is yours. Looking in the mirror and seeing me looking back at you is the pinnacle of your self-realization and created purpose. Through you, I am projecting myself from eternity God and my nowness into a time-space universe. I am revealing the eternity of my person and power via the community of saved men and women who will be expressions of my everlasting praise. This is your portion, and I don't do these things half-heartedly. You are the ground zero of my plan. I have no other candidates for the fullness of my glory except you. I am not willing to establish my order and my power today without your active participation and full entitlement. The first law of heaven is order. Order leads to grandeur. I am putting your life in order, putting it in the order of heaven and my kingdom, not in the order of man. What man refers to as decently and in order, I refer to as anarchy and unlawful authority. I am demolishing man's institutions to establish the reality of my lordship and my redeemed society on earth. I am making you one just as I am one. There are Father, Son, and Holy Spirit within the mystery of my person. There is complete agreement and unexplained acquiescence. I dispatched the Son, and the Son arrived. The Son returned, and the Spirit was sent into the earth to live in your life. The love commission of heaven was carried out within me on your behalf by order. The Father says, let the order of heaven establish its jurisdiction in your life today. The order of heaven will drive away the disarray of the earth. When your life circumstances contradict my promise, I will use my authority to return you to yoke easy and burden light. My order is free of illness. My order is not impoverished. My order contains no tyranny, guilt, or judgment. Allow my government to come upon you and grow within you, and we will create your limits together, driving out every enemy disturbance and establishing the full dimensions of my blessing within your borders.